quick greetings. Welcome to a late night recording. Uh, One of those things where you look for a place where you can sit and record, and have some kind of privacy. The ongoing conversation is, of course, sovereignty. So, I'm sorry. I've taken a walk down West Side Highway. I have not been here so long down here. It's just so crazy to see how different it is. So I just realized, where I am. But anyway, the discussion is sovereignty. We need to. I think there's Indians out there who would desire true sovereignty and not just the thing where you are still under the domination of the corporation masquerading as a government. I was saying the one thing that makes us stand out as Indians of all the other people in the Americas is that we actually would have authoritative say in our land as the first people of the land. It's just that we've been sort of left to think that we're just here with no legal footing. Why don't we have a legal footing? Well, because the corporation fixed it that way. That's why that's why we were classified as black. So back in the day when we had common sense, I think we would simply say, these people don't mean me no good. If they did, they wouldn't have reclassified me as black in the first place. So are they trying to work with me as an Indian? No. So me trying to get with them as an Indian, what sense is that making? We have to come back and give them everything that they always feared, unfortunately, which is us having authority over them in a peaceful, lawful manner. We have to think much bigger than we're thinking. No, it's not enough to just have a federally recognized tribe. You might as well be a $5 Indian. No, it's not enough to just settle for a reservation when the whole land is yours. What happened to us? If we were watching a movie, we would be rooting for white people to get the fuck out, right? And we'd be sitting there saying, why aren't they leaving? Why are they making stupid decisions? And we would get all into it, yelling at the screen, probably want to throw shit at the screen. But we are in that movie, I'm telling you right now, as Indians. We are in the fucking haunted mansion, the house of death, and the living dead. And we are just as dumb as those white people that we claim to be so dumb in those horror films. If we don't understand why we have to get out. We're trying to take some easy way out that is not helping your children, your grandchildren, your great great grandchildren, your great 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 grandchildren. No, they're going to be fucked because you wanted to stay in the corporation and wanted things just to stay as they are, but just to be recognized as an Indian. You're not recognized as an Indian if you don't have your sovereignty. You're just one of many who are being taken advantage of by a foreign corporation that is looking to bring everyone to this country just so that they can try to genocide your Indian ass, and you're still trying to work with them. As we talk, as we speak, there's legislation to build all these asylum houses and shit. $1 billion for asylum, for foreigners. And we think we can work with this. If you have authority, you could stop it. But if you just coming in with the corporation playing patty cake and I want to be down with you and I want your benefits and your privileges more than I want sovereignty and more than I want to be a landlord on my land, wake up, Indians. Just wake up. That's all I'm saying. Respectfully. So I guess that's all I have to say. I want to do a video reading Peter Jericho, another great article. I hope I didn't post a video that I did because I'm debating. I think I want to do it over. So this is just, discussions of sovereignty, the why. Okay? I know I'm not crazy. You know that? I know I'm not. So it's just that Indians they're still half asleep, I think. And if that's not it, then they're definitely down with the Iroquois Confederacy or some something like that. Where you're just steering people back into the house of death, back into the haunted fucking mansion called United States. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Sorry if this comes off raw. I'm giving it as the ancestors give it to me, and it is a big deal. It is a very big deal. I watched the state nationals last night. Anna was on. She's on every Monday, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to really see that this is a group of foreigners who are going for sovereignty. They are going to have a say on your land, American Indian, more than you. You're so busy up your ass worrying about statutes and codes, trying to go within the framework of the corporate setup. This white woman, a foreigner, ain't trying to do that. And last night, they're setting up their own banking system where they're going to make this fucking government pay the debts that they were supposed to. And a lot of our people, they can't do that. That's illegal. Y'all, you don't know shit about the law. Just stop it. The fact that you think that you are under federal codes and state codes tells me that you can't speak to what is legal and not legal, or rather what is lawful. But you barely know that. It's like, come on now. You got to break out of this mindset of trying to follow rules that were never made for us in the first place. We never were supposed to get all of the Bill of Rights. We were supposed to get like some of those. So you're going to go from that, half-ass Bill of Rights. Then you're going to go into federal Indian codes. That's what they are. If you're going to be a federal Indian, that's what, and even state recognized. The state right now is a franchise of the federal, so that's the same entity. Anna is creating the actual real state. So whatever state recognition we're getting is coming from a franchise of the federal government, because the one by the people for the people, that's the one that Anna is working on with the state nationals. And I watched her and I was angry because I'm like, this is a foreigner. She is going for the sovereignty that all Americans are supposed to have. And I'm watching her versus Indians who are still moaning about federal codes and shit. And federal this and federal that and federal this. You ain't under no federal. You ain't under no state either. So just stop that noise. You were supposed to have your own. And again, if we don't, I'm telling you, the foreigners, this woman, they're going to get it too. They're going to get it. Why? Because they already have white privilege, right? This woman, she's white. So when she goes and she's talking to the Pope, at some point, the law is on her side. The law is on her side because she knows law of the land. She knows the first Constitution. It's starting to look good, y'all. It's starting to look like they're making headway. They're going to have a bank, whereas these federal banks and federal funded banks or whatever, FDIC banks and all that shit, where they starting to get jiggy and close people's accounts and shit and freeze your accounts and shit. That ain't going to happen to state nationals. That woman is working on a banking system for sovereign people. Not the banks for the slaves is going to start getting more and more crazy. You can't be under the federal without getting federally fucked over, okay? You have to be a sovereign. The federal turned itself into a slave-making institution, a slave-making business. You've got to get out. There is no working with the corporation. Got to get out. You do not want federal Indian codes. They are not supposed to be making your laws. You are. The colonizer came and found your Indian ass here, not the other way around. He don't make your laws. It's common sense 101. And it doesn't matter that we don't know all the details. We know the basic framework is I ain't supposed to be under you. And until I figure out how to go about not being under you, you can't touch me. That's all we need to know. And they can't. They don't have the jurisdiction. That's the thing with Anna. She was talking about that last night. How they, the cops can't touch state nationals or state citizens. I say state national to keep it from being confused with United States citizens. But cops don't have jurisdiction over state nationals. They're not supposed to have jurisdiction over Indians either. But until we get our head out our ass, they're going to always kick our ass. That's what they do. And that's what the law enforcement does with us if we haven't figured that out yet. But they won't be able to do that to state nationals. We could have the same kind of setup as state nationals, but for Indians, it won't be the same. It'll be extremely similar because what the state nationals are doing is they're going back to the original Constitution where they were free persons, not United States citizens. They're supposed to be citizens of the state they were born in, which is a specific state. A United States citizen is too nebulous. Which state are you talking about? Because United States is the District of Columbia. So they're going back to the original Constitution like we are supposed to. In the original Constitution, what our footing is Indian not taxed. So that's why the government can't harm us, even if we don't have a system already set up. They know what the fuck they did to us. They know why we don't have a government, and they know they've been misleading us. All we have to do is set one up. We can make all the rules. We have access to our resources as first people of the land. What about that is so hard to understand? If we don't, the state nationals are going to be, it's like they're going to be like Indians because they're going to have more sovereignty and more power over the feds than we in the feds. If we go in under the feds, the state nationals are going to own us as well as the federal government. We're going to have two masters. So that is our word for today. I guess I'll post it. I'll see. It's a quickie. Thank you for watching. I know I got a little disrespectful. I'm sorry for the disrespect. But the message is very, very, very necessary. Very necessary. Kudos to Dane Calloway for even having the idea that we should have our own government. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you. There is hope. We have nothing to do with the feds or the state. Nothing. And they can't touch us because of the original Constitution contract. We are Indians, not taxed. They just never told us what that meant. Even they don't know what it meant. It was put there, and then those who had plans to do exactly what happened to us, they never, it was just left like open-ended. They went about immediately looking for a way to pull us into their jurisdiction, making it like being a citizen was the best thing you needed to be because you don't have anything. Yeah, we don't have anything because you're not explaining to us that we're supposed to have our own. So that's how we got pulled back into that crap. And I was reading a little bit of the Dred Scott decision. Y'all gonna see something in there when I do a little breakdown of that. At that time, at the time of Dred Scott decision, there were colored people who were citizens, but they were not United States citizens. Now, there's little pieces of it in the Dred Scott decision. We're going to read it, and you're going to see, because I'm going to show you, there's a difference between a state citizen and a United States citizen. I was reading through his case because I was looking for something else, but as I'm reading, I'm like, wait a minute, what are they saying that we were state citizens? We were some of the states allow, some of the states had us as state citizens before we became United States, and this is before 1868. So it's before 1860. It was before 1865. So there was no United States citizen, but people of color were citizens in some states, because some states had it and some states didn't. And we're just going to have to look at it. But I was shocked because I've never heard anyone talk about that there was a time when coloreds were actually considered state citizens. We got to read it, and we'll see what we come up with. But anyway, I was shocked. I've never heard that. But by the wording, because I know about state citizens, I was able to decipher it. Now, someone who's thinking state citizen or state national, it's the same thing, is not legitimate. You could get in trouble. You're going to read it, and you wouldn't understand it. I'll have to point it out to you. But we're going to look at it. So, till next time, thanks for watching. Peace, blessings, love, wealth, health, your land back, your identity back, your sovereignty back, your birthright back. Be and stay highly favored. Your birthright and your sovereignty will make you that.